everyone, it's Bridget from Rain, Vermont. Welcome back. I am so happy that I saved all this scrap from my mask making. I was making masks back in 2020, as a lot of us were. The seamstresses were superheroes, and I just saved all of this because I could not let it go. And now I am having a lot of fun 4 years later messing around with this. And I am so happy, just so thrilled that I saved it. I have been making some beautiful scrap pieces of fabric. I mean, aren't they stunning? I started doing these samples and I was like, at first I was like, oh no, I don't really like it. And then I was like, Bridget, just keep going, keep doing it. It's fabric. You're not hurting anything. So, and I now am like so in love with these pieces. I can't even tell you how many ideas and how much fun. And so here I am. This one is made with, it's called TP971F, and it is fusible thermolam plus. It has the bubbles on one side, so it is, a heat sensitive, and I can fuse to it. So today, that's what I'm going to do and show you how I did this piece, which it is so beautiful. Has a little more substance. With these squiggly pieces, I just needed to be able to have something to help me along in this process. So I'm going to show you how I did that, or how I'm going to do a piece with you with that, and then make something. And then this is a piece that I just did on muslin. And this one, I took my Vilene. So I did all the strips. They were all ironed out. I did all the strips, and then I gently placed the Vilene over it, pinned it, and took it to my machine. It was a lot of fun, and this is great for, another idea that I have in the future. So I will be definitely making some more of these, and I will show you that process. But today we are going to do the Thermolam Plus and make some fun little scrappy piece of fabric with my Liberty of London scraps, and then I'm going to make something. So I hope you'll stick around and have some fun with me. I am just giving these a press. I have my little tiny iron here, and I'm taking my scraps and I'm just pulling them through. The iron is nice and hot. I have such a pile of this fabric gold here to play with, so I am just pulling these strips right on through. And, to create a palette, so to speak, for me to work with. And I am one of the strange people that that likes to iron. I do not know why. I do not know where it came from, but I find it enjoyable. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a bunch of these little strips and get them organized. I have my fusible piece of batting here, my foam batting, the Thermolam, and I will put that in the description. I just have a lot of these things around from all of my years of bag making, and we all have a collection of fusible pieces, and I have a bunch of that, so I want to use it, and it's proving to be perfect. And I'm going to stick with this theme here of this lovely piece here. Just kind of starting to go with it and seeing what floats my boat. And, you know, this is all, I am taking the little selvage off when I find it. And I am just going to start cutting, and it can overlap. It can hang off the end. And it's just like painting with these pieces of fabric. I'm just going with the flow here. I tend to find myself angling. This is a little piece of that selvage. And the bubbles on this, the actual fusible, is lending, it's helping it, even though it hasn't adhered yet through heat and the sticky glue. It is actually helping me the pieces of fabric kind of stay in place. So that's an extra bonus, and that's fun. So I have found that at the beginning, it's like, oh no, you know, you're like, what do I want to do? And so you just have to keep going. That's what I keep telling myself. Just start somewhere. There's that little piece of selvage there, you know, and you can turn it. So let's turn, and, you know, just start working with the fabrics here. And it's so thin that if you wanted to, you could double up if you're worried about, you can overlap. You can double up. It's you know, the Liberty, you know, Tana lawn, the fabric is so thin that you know, it's just going to be a breeze going through your sewing machine. But you can also just have a lot of fun patching it up later, which is what I did. A lot of this, I just patched up, you know, if there was a little piece of the fusible coming through, I just put a little Band-Aid. I just clipped a little piece off and did a little Band-Aid. So it was quite entertaining and fun. So I'm just going to keep along with this process. You do want to, I recommend having it, this is an ironing pad, so I recommend having it on some sort of pad so that you don't have to move it. Now, whether that's your ironing board or if it's a piece of, you know, paper that you're going to slide it off of after, that is great too. Just something that you don't want to worry about having to disrupt it after before you press it. And I will show you that. So I'm going to continue on here and show you my process. Fast forward this right now. Now I am going to delicately, I have these Teflon sheets because I do not want to get any of the open fusible on my iron. And I have my larger iron. You do not want to iron it and move the iron. You want to lay the iron on top. So I'm gently going to take this, and you will get shifting. So it doesn't matter. You're going to get shifting, but the beauty of it is that you can patch it so easily. So it's there. I am now going to let the iron just sit on top. And now this is good. It's a little hot. So, but like there's some pieces that are just kind of lightly tacked down. So it is still a little delicate, but I can carry it over to my machine and, just get it going there. I am going to actually, now instead of doing free motion today, it is going to be free motion, but I'm going to do straight lines. And I've just been having a lot of fun. You'll see. I'll bring you over and set up, and I'll show you how fun it is just to create some straight lines and how to band-aid little openings if you wish, because you're really not going to notice those little pieces. But let's go over to the machine and have some fun stitching. I am at my machine and I have this beautiful pink thread, and I am just going to do straight stitches today, and I have it on a stitch length of 4, and it's pretty long considering, and I am just going to start by going around the perimeter because that's what I like to do. And then I am just going to have a grand old time just stitching this. So I am going to fast forward this. And this is just having fun and just getting in the zone and stitching. And then you can take pieces as you're going, as you've come along, and you can do little snips of Band-Aid. So here my fusible is, I can see it from the back, so that I can just come in here and do a straight stitch and cover it up. You can do it in the same, you can do it in a different fabric. It's just, just having so much fun. It's free motion, but with straight stitches. So now that's covered up. And there's another piece right here that it came through. So I'm going to turn it. Of course, it's not cooperating because I'm on camera. But I'm going to turn it. And if I want to take another little piece, I can just take a small piece, I can cut it so it's just a tiny, tiny piece. You could just do anything that your heart desires, and you can just use that as your little Band-Aid right there. Right there. And I'm just covering up that little piece that was coming through of the fusible. And it's just adding the character to the whole piece of fabric. I have another piece down here. Maybe I'll add another little piece of the same because I just cut another tiny strip and I have it right there. So I can come down, come over, and just make it's a Band-Aid. Too bad life isn't this easy. We could bandage take these little pieces of fabric and bandage ourselves up and repair ourselves. And it's just adding to the piece. It's stunning. And you can get as carried away as you want. You can keep going. I have a piece over here. It's a little, but I can actually cut that. I can because I have a, it's covered with my other fabric. So if I want to just do that, and then, that's all set. Let's see this one too. I can just simply cut it. Let me see if I can get a better camera angle. And just snip these little pieces if I like. Or I can go back and just you know, cut them. There we go. I can just take a little piece and use it as a band-aid right here. I can just, to cover up, if you want to do it the same, or you can do it in a different fabric. But it's just so forgiving, so fun. And then you can just simply take it, if you want to, and cut it. And you don't need it. Well, I mean, I could have used a piece right there, but here, I'll just do this. I have a little tiny piece of this, and I can just come over here. And I mean, how fun is that? You can just put a little Band-Aid there. I wanted to show you how I do some trimming after the fact. After I walk away from my machine, I can do, I'll just scooch in there, and you can just simply take your scissors, and these are curved scissors, which are nice. You know, and if you want to just take the little pieces that you Band-Aided, you can just do a little snip. I want to take this back because that's my fusible coming through. So I'm going to work on this more on my sewing machine, and I'm going to take this piece that I have finished over here and make something out of it, because I still have some work that I want to do on this, just, you know, taking this and tacking it down, and, you know, I've got a little piece there, so I could take this right here and just snip it or stitch over it. You know, it's just whatever you want to do. You know, I just don't want to see the white underneath. So here we go again. I can just take that right there and simply snip it. There's another little piece there. So, you know, just having fun, you know, fussing around with it and finishing it up. And I already did that with this one over here. I want to take this back to the machine and just chill out and finish that up. But this I'm happy with. I did this yesterday, and so it's, for me, I feel like it's ready to go. Oh, I do see another piece here. I could go do a line there, but you could just, you know, you could simply, right up here, it's not stitched down, but, you know, I'm just gonna let it go. These are just gonna be little ditty bags that I'm gonna keep in other bags. So what I did was I just took another piece of my muslin here, a piece of my muslin, and I just used 8.5 by 11, and I'm just going to go and put this like this so it can have a little bit of a lining. And I'm going to take this, you know, clip this and take this to my sewing machine. I do think I want to make this into a little folding bag. So I want to actually create a little, oh, see, I already see I have other pieces that I want to finish up, but that's okay. Life's not perfect. Let's just go with it. I did go back to my sewing machine and tidy up a little bit on even this piece. You know, you could just make yourself a little crazy. You know, it's fun. There's just always going to be some more stitching to do. And, you know, you could just have that as a relaxing end of the evening little fun before, you know, you take a take a snooze. So I am going to take a piece. I have a little button here that I made, and in another video I'll link that. And I'm just going to take, I think 24 inches should do it. This is just some of my silk ribbon. These little 2mm silk ribbons that I got. I love them. You know, there's just so many fun things to add into your, you know, little kitties, so that you can just always have something fun to make. So I am going to, I think that will be down there. And I think I'm going to put this, the lanyard up here. So I am going to mark the center of this with just a tiny little notch. And I am going to put that right there. And I am just going to do a little, some wonder clips, which are always very fun and handy. And I want this to be my top. So I'm just going to clip this like that, with it coming out so I can see a little bit of it. And I'm not getting crazy here on the perfectionist part of it. I can see that my lining's a little larger. I will trim that down. I'm going to tuck this in. And I am just going to go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to leave myself a gap so I can turn this, and then I will press it. I am going to just do some trimming. Oh, making sure not to cut my stitch line. Trim the corners. I could do this with my rotary cutter too, but I don't have my mat right here at this station. Okay, so that's nice. And I'm just going to there we go. And I'm going to turn this. I went back and forth on my little strap, so it's in there securely. Oh, that's pretty. Oops. I guess I did cut my stitching after all. I'm going to have to go back to the machine and just give that a tack down. All fixed. And I'm going to press this. Oh, that's going to be cute. And I'm just going to have it be a little, cute little, with a little button. The button can be up here. I will decide. Let me press it. I have a little chopstick just to poke out my corners. It's always nice to have something blunt to get your corners poked out. I got my little tie here. This is just, I'm going to just have these little ditty bags in my, so I'm just going to get some pressing done here. That's nice. And I'm just going to get this situated, my gap that I give that a little help for starters. And then I'm just going to close my gap there with my lining. And I'm going to take this back to my sewing machine and top stitch. And I'm going to make sure you can see some little pieces are coming out there, but that's okay. I'll just tuck them in as I go. And you can see this little piece here. I'm just going to trim that up. It's just a lot of trimming. I'm going to take this to my machine and top stitch all around. So, and I'm going to leave I have a different color thread, but I like it. It's a scrappy project, so I'm just going with it. And now I'm going to attach my button. I'm just making this a simple little pouch. I mean, you can make so many different little, and I think I will. So I could either put it down, I'm going to put it up there, so that I can wrap around and come and do this. Do a little wrap. And now all I want to do is just create a little pouch. So I'm just going to take this to my machine and do 2 seams here. And I think that's a nice, right there is good. I think I'm just going to do a little wonder clip test and see how that will go. Oh, that's adorable. That's so sweet. And then I can just have this tie right around here. And I can trim that, or I can decide how long I want that. Thanks for joining me while I made my little scrappy, tiny little clutch bag that I can add little trinkets to. I can put all my little needles. Makes me think I need to make a little needle book. Wouldn't that be a great next project? There's so many little ideas I have running through my head. And then I can just put that in my sewing bag. Just always have something pretty with me. I love it. I loved making it. I am excited to just keep working with all my scrap. So thanks so much for joining me. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I'm really having a lot of fun with my scrap busting with my Liberty fabrics, and so glad I can finally have the time to make some beautiful things with them. And, I will be doing some other projects in the future, so please join me. I mean, look, it's beautiful. Could you tell I'm excited? Until next time, keep stitching. Have fun out there. Bye.